I need my tabby. You actually getting ready to go back downstairs because I'm finna go get mommy.
All
right, bruh. Yo. Wait a minute. And
and I know you did because you called me crying. You did right. I put my hands on him, nigga. Only because I love him. Somebody got to do it. You only come around here once a month. Only to bring him shit. They don't make you a daddy, Tony. You got to be a father to that little nigga. He only called you because I hurt his feelings. But you been hurting his motherfucking feelings, nigga. You mad at him because you got to pay child support. That's good. Don't shut the hell up. You know what the fuck I've been through. My daddy wasn't there for me. And that's what I'm fucking getting. That's all y'all do, run to excuse for not doing your freaking job. You know how that feels, to get raised by a single mom just because your dad wasn't there for you. You ain't gonna be there for him? That sounds stupid. And here you is coming over here questioning my parenthood just because I'm trying, nigga. You better watch it. No, you better watch it. Yeah. How you feel? You feel alone? Afraid? Like you ain't got nobody here to save you? That's exactly how little Tony felt before I came in the picture. Difference is, he ain't asked to be here. So next time you come over here questioning me about doing my job, I'ma do your ass. I ain't got to answer to you, nigga. She chose me. Get the fuck off my property. Get over here, little Tony. Get over here. Ain't I'm a good dad? I guess so. What you mean, I guess so? These clothes you got on, I thought you did from head to toe. Hey, man, don't be telling them that. Look, Tony, tell them about the 2 P's I taught you.
Being a good dad starts with presents, not giving things.
Yeah. You might have bought them this, but I taught them that. What you think gonna last longer? Fucking loser? Go in the house.
Don't break down yet, it's over. 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 Steady breaking me on down. Steady breaking me on down.
Hello and welcome to another edition of The Breakdown. It's your boy, your host, one of your hosts anyway, Jason, a.k.a. Gator. We live tonight. Whoo! Boy, that's a good opening right there. If you want to join us at any time, all you got to do is pick up your phone and call 347-989-8472. That's 34.
talking about step parents tonight.
If you are a step parent, or you know a step parent, or a stepchild, or you were a stepchild and have step parents, you need to hit us up tonight and talk to us about what we're talking about tonight, because tonight's show is all about you. That's right. Tonight's show is all about you. So if you are a step parent and you want to get in on the show, like I said before, pick up your phone, call 347-989-8472. That's 347-989-8472. Shout out to everybody who has joined the Breakdown like page. We're getting a lot of conversations going on there. And to everybody that has joined the group the breakdown. We appreciate you, and we thank you for joining the group. We talk about stuff like this all the time, and tonight will be no different because, you know, this is going to be a real good show. I want to break something down for y'all. I found something on HuffPost. That's HuffPost. The site is m.huffpost.com. It said 12 things no one tells you about being a step-parent. Parenting is tough enough as it is. When you're a step-parent, the job is all the more challenging. Bestow, HuffPost divorce readers and bloggers who are step-parents shared a few things no one has ever told them about the experience of being a bonus mom, stepdad. This is what they had to say. No one tells you that being a step-parent will put your self-esteem to an ultimate test. The kids ignore you. No one matters. It doesn't matter how nice you are to them. The majority of decisions in your life are being detracted by an ex-spouse and society automatically thinks as a home wrecker, even though you met your spouse years before his separation, how could the situation not mess with your self-esteem? Without a strong sense of self, your insecurity will have you doubting your every move. That's the number one. That step-parent is a step-family coach. Her name is Gina Korf. Number 2 says, no one tells you just how much your ex can affect your relationship and the new family by what he or she does or doesn't do. We're going to talk about that tonight. Number 3, no one tells you parenting isn't instinctive. I thought my mental instinct would be an intimate response to having step-kids. Nope, it was a fly by the seat of your parenting. Number 4 says, no one tells you how hard it is to balance the demands of your role. Number 5, no one tells you that the moment the kids include you or go to you instead of their parent will be the greatest feeling in the world. Number 6, things no one tells you about being a step-parent is no one tells you that you don't have to love your stepchildren. I'm going to read that again. No one tells you that you don't have to love your stepchildren. Number 7 says no one tells you that it doesn't seem to matter how long their parents have been apart. Number 8, no one tells you that all your stepchildren really need is a friend. I'm a witness to that one. Number 9 says no one tells you what an amazing feeling it is when stepkids fully accept their new half-brother or sister. Number 10 is if you and your parent divorce and their parent divorce, no one tells you how much pain you feel. So we're talking about step-parents tonight. There's 2 more. Number 11 says no one tells you that your relationship with your partner must come first. And the number 12 thing that no one tells you is no one tells you how nice it is to realize the stepkids love you for just being you. Now, I want to do this show tonight because I know there is a lot of people in this kind of relationship that listen to our shows. I know this because I get messages a lot from a lot of our listeners from around the nation. Somebody even told me they was listening from overseas, which is crazy, about this part of the parenting aspect, and it's really really deep because they have questions of how do I do this? How do I discipline the child? What is my job as a step-parent, knowing that their parents, the other parent, is still around, but they're not doing what they're supposed to do. As a step-parent, is it my job to step in and do that? I personally was in the role of being a step-parent. I got into a relationship where there were 5 kids, and none of the kids belonged to me. They were not mine by birth. And I took on that responsibility, number one, because I loved their mom and figured that this was who I was going to be with for the rest of my life. And like I was just reading a minute ago, it's nothing like when a stepchild, and first of all, let me say I hate using the term stepchildren, stepchild, stepkids. I looked at them more as my kids, even to this day, and me and their mom haven't been together in a long time. But they call me for advice, or they'll hit me up on Facebook and Messenger and say, hey, this is what's going on. Can I talk to you about it? And we have conversations, and we're still on speaking terms and very good as far as it comes to me and them. But there are a lot of step-parents that's out there right now who are in this situation and they don't realize how much of an impact they have in these young kids' life. I put a call out for step-parents. I put a call out for kids adults now that were in this situation when they were young, because I want my listeners to know there are a lot of step-parents, a lot of stepchildren out here going through the same thing, and sometimes it feels like you're the only one going through this. I've heard stories of kids when you first get into a relationship. Of course, after a few months, things start to change, but I know, matter of fact, talking about hearing stories, I was told myself a few times by the kids when I was with their mother that, hey, bruh, you ain't my dad. You can't tell me this. You can't tell me that. You don't have that right because you're not my parent. To a little further on down the line, years later, the oldest one coming to me personally himself and asking me, hey, Jacob, do you have a problem with me calling you dad? That was like, oh, my God. That was like the biggest thing ever. And if y'all hearing the sirens in the background, it's because I'm outside. I'm enjoying the air.
From the cops? You running?
Man, it's been cold in the South lately. And tonight is the first night that it's a little warm than it usually be. So I decided I'm going to stand outside for a little while.
I ain't mad at you. Not mad at you.
Enjoy this air.
I mean, you out here doing a eulogy. Yeah, you out here doing a sermon and whatnot to get the show started. But first of all, me being a child of a step parent and have played daddy in certain situations as well too, and actually dealt with a lot of women who have men or women who have stepped up to the role of being a step parent. It is a very tricky situation. It's a very tricky situation. You know what, Jacob? I want to do something different tonight, and I want to see if you're down with this.
Okay.
I want to call my stepdad. I want to call my stepdad while we on air.
Oh wow.
I want to interview my dad. I do.
Okay.
I want to go ahead and I want to sit down because when I first started Tonedef Radio, I had already sat down and interviewed my mom, and we had a nice little heart-to-heart conversation. We did it for Mother's Day. My intention was to actually interview my stepdad for Father's Day, but I can't remember what ended up happening, so I never got a chance to honestly interview him. But being the fact that he's a current stepdad, and actually, in so many words, both my mom and my dad are step-parents in one way or another, give me a minute. You go ahead and continue your dialogue.
Okay.
Let me see if I can get my parents on the phone real quickly. I think we're going to go ahead and actually interview some step-parents this evening and chop it up with them from personal experience to see how the life of step-parenting from old school, and we're talking about 50-plus-year-old people here, and how they handle the game compared to how some of these young people handle the game. So, I'll be right back.
I mean, there is a difference while Tone is doing that. There is a difference then from those who want to do it and those that don't want to do it. If you heard what I was reading earlier, it even says in that little, little article that some parents don't understand that they don't have to be the parent to their kids. I, myself, I kind of disagree with that. Because I feel like if you're stepping into this relationship, you know from the gate that this woman or this man already has kids. So if they already have kids, you stepping into this relationship means that you're going to accept, of course, their parents and the kids as well. So I don't agree with them not wanting to be a parent. I think it's got a lot more to do with, I don't agree with them not doing the part of being a parent. It's got a lot more to do with them not wanting to be a parent. But at the same time, why be in a relationship with someone who has kids when you know you don't want to deal with that? That's a choice that you make on your own that, okay, if I accept their mother or I accept their father, I accept the kids too. And a lot of people look at it like you don't have to do that. I don't have to be a part of that kid's life. Well, if that kid's going to be around their parents, they're 9 times out of 10, they're going to be around you. And believe it or not, kids are way more smarter than we portray or give them credit for. Way more. They know that you don't want to be around them. They know that you don't want to have nothing to do with them. They know you don't want to deal with them. So, me speaking for myself, when I got married, I've been married. When I got married, there was a special part of my wedding that I wanted and my ex wanted to be a part of the wedding. And that part was the kids. We had all 5 of the kids come down during the wedding. And instead of me asking their mom to be my wife, or
all right, I'm back.
that part of it. Okay, that part of it. Instead of doing all of that, I actually asked the kids if they were okay with me being a parent and being a part of their mom's life, and they agreed to it before God and before everybody that was present. And it's a big thing when, like I said before, one of your stepchildren, and I don't like using that term, but one of the kids comes to you
stop using it.
And asks you personally, like, hey, can I call you Dad? Because for a long time they were just calling me Jacob. and he said, "Do you have a problem with me calling you Dad?" That's the oldest one. He was 11 at the time, and when he did that, it was like all of the rest of the kids joined in to where, well, if he gonna call you Dad, I want to call you Dad too. That's a feeling in a step parent's heart that is warm, bro. But I know you. Did you make the call?
You know I made the call, bro. I had to call my mother back anyway, so it worked out fine. So I don't do this too often. One, because my mama and my dad be busy. Two, sometimes we be talking about stuff I don't want my mom and them hearing. And three, sometimes they just don't like me. That's just what it boils down to. But I do actually have my. They'll tell me they don't like me. They love me. They gotta like me. And I quote from my mama. Okay. But no, I have both my mom, Diana Bankhead, and my stepdad, Michael Bankhead, online with me right now. Hi, say
awesome.
Hi, parent.
Hello.
Hello. All right.
Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show.
All right.
Go ahead.
First of all, my mom and my dad has been married. Damn, how long have y'all been married?
27 years.
Wow.
Really? Damn.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's
we
awesome. Awesome.
Now, the great thing about my situation is Mike actually came in my life when I was in that preteen phase. It was really just me, to be honest with you, until my little brother was born. But I'm going to be blatantly honest with you. My real dad, and I've told this to some of y'all before, my real dad really wasn't in my life that much. Whatever reason for it, whatever it was, he wasn't there, rest his soul. But Mike stepped up. And that's one thing I can always say. I learned from Mike and I learned from my uncle, especially my Uncle Larry, that taking in somebody else's family is definitely difficult. You know, we come with our own problems, our own issues, our own view, and sometimes that's not much to work with. So, Mike, I want to start with you. How does it feel to come into the April family in the beginning? Because I know we were difficult to deal with as a whole.
It wasn't as difficult as you might have thought it was, Antonio. But at that time, you was a child, so you didn't have too much worry about it. Your mom and me made it was an agreement. What it was I knew what I was going to be up against. I knew it was, we call it a package deal. You were there already. Mike Jr. was a twinkle in your mama's eye. We did not know we was going to have a Mike Jr., but we did. But when it was not a problem with that. I knew certain things that I could do and certain things I wouldn't do. The main thing that a creed that me and your mother always abided by was I was to never, ever promise you something that I could not do. If I could not, and I made agreements. If I said I was going to take you someplace, I had to take you because I told you that I would. If I told you, if anything like that, if I couldn't take you, it wouldn't come out of my mouth. That was law. That's the way it was. And for times on, it was weird when you used to ask me, they doing this and doing that. Can we go? Yeah, we can go. And then sometimes your mom say, well, didn't you check it with me? I just didn't with that because Tony want to go here, and I really want to go. He want to go. I'm almost more enthused as you. I'm about to grab my coat. And did y'all do what y'all need to do? And then we both look at it. At that time, it's like I'm Tony's oldest brother because she looks at us and says, well, did y'all do what you do? And Tony looks at me and like, Dad, what were you supposed to do? I said, I don't know. You tell me. Did you do what you were supposed to do? And then when she says what it was, it made all the sense in the world, but it was the simplest thing in the world. We had just lost all hope. Where she said, well, ain't y'all going to just say goodbye? Or I want y'all to come back in one piece and whatever, the case may be. It was always something a little thing that you would forget, and Mom would have to, like, reel us in and, like, say, hey, ain't y'all forget something or whatever. We get all happy-eyed, eyes all glowing and glassy. But I never there was never a string tie on Antonio. But Antonio didn't have to go far. Antonio was up. Hey, he come in and
called me all about my government.
I was trying to figure this out or whatever. But wouldn't it be better to do that? And I'm like, no, why? He said, well, if you look at it this way, that's Antonio looking for you. If you look at it this way, I say about 2 minutes later, I'm going like, well, like, what do you know? 15 minutes later, I'm like, dang, man. I said, hey, Tony, thanks. That's really working out. He said, well, I thought that was the simplest way to do it. I'm like, well, I didn't think of it. And now it's like, when I want something, I'll call him. I can be somewhere, anywhere in the city, and if I ain't sure about something, I'll call home, and I'll say, they'll say, well, what you doing? I said, I'm gonna call my wife, Diana. I'm so and so and so and so place. But I'm looking for this so and so and so place, and she'll say, well, where are you now? I said, this is where I'm sitting at. Okay, for you, so and so and so and so place. And I'm going like, okay. Well, you remember? She'll say a number, and it loses my mind. But then she'll say, you remember the street? And I'll say, yeah. She said, you're right down there. There. Oh, okay. Thank you, baby. Love you. Hang up the phone. Now, if it's a math problem, if anything that got to do with money and finance, Mr. Lucky. Or better yet, he knows when I'm calling him because I won't call him by his first name. I call him by his second name.
You did it already. You did it once. Put the whole government out there.
I'll say, Jermaine. And he'll say, yes, sir. I said, Jermaine, this is what I got. How do I do this? Okay, you can do this is Jermaine. You can do one of 3 ways. This is the easiest way. Or better yet, he'll say, this is the way you do it, but I think this is the way that you would be more comfortable with.
That's what's up.
But all in all, never skipped a beat. Wouldn't change it for the world. I'm happy with everything that I got. And ain't nobody else have it. So
all right, now will you stop talking so I can talk to my mother? Mother. Okay, now it was me and you against the world for a very long time, unfortunately. So you took on more stepkids in so many words than Mike took on with me. How did it feel being in that position as a stepmother?
I was getting ready to get into. Me and Mike dated a little bit when we was in high school. Okay, so I sort of knew it. Okay. So when we reconnected, I knew he had children. And if he's going to be a part of my life, it's going to be a couple of things. You got your children, I got mine, we got our children. I was not going to have any baby mama drama from none of them other mothers. Okay, either we can do this together or we can do this apart. But the key thing is I married him, so my decision will probably be the last decision. Okay? I truly enjoy my stepdaughters. I'm not going to even call them my stepdaughters, my daughters, because I don't have any. And I end up having 5 kids. And I get along with all of them, okay? I'm very close to the youngest one because she was living with me. She, with us both, and we sort of worked out all of the issues that teenage women sort of work out. We're real close now. Just got finished talking to her this afternoon for a couple of hours. It's an honor for me to be a stepmom because when they're having problems with their real mom, they can come to me. They need something, they can come to me. Okay? I'm not going to dispute what their mom say, but I'm going to be there to back them up in every which way I can. And that's what your dad sort of did for you. No, your dad wasn't there, and that was his choice, okay? Because I was a damn good girlfriend and an excellent wife. He messed that up. He was just hanging out in the street. Ain't got time for no bullshit and garbage from nobody, okay? Either you're going to step up and accept responsibility or you're not. You're not. He decided and he said to me that I know Antonio's going to be fine because you got your brothers and your dad and your uncles to take care of him, okay? And I said, I sure in the hell do, okay? And they did step up. And my husband did come in and step up. My brother dated a woman. And
13 kids. 13 kids.
Wow.
13 kids.
And I was talking about me stepping into 5 kids.
Okay.
13 kids.
Wow.
Like one was 16 and the youngest one was a baby. And they still call him daddy. And
Yeah.
Okay. So I think step-parents has a unique time to enter into somebody's young person's life or some child's life and make it the greatest thing that they need for it to be. Okay. Because
all right, Mother, we have a caller on the line who would like to
ask you
guys
Let me say
questions.
this, Tom. Let me say
Go
this
ahead,
real
Jacob.
quick. I know y'all wasn't here when I first started the show. I participated in being a step-parent. And like y'all said, I don't like using the word step-parent and step-kids and all that kind of stuff. And I stepped into a family of 5 kids already. And so, to me, it was overwhelming for me, like, whoa, it's 5 kids. At the same time, I was saying earlier, if you love that parent, then you already know that that parent has kids. You should be able to love their kids just like you love the parents. And I know y'all wasn't here, and y'all just said the exact same thing that I said at the beginning of the show. And I just want to applaud y'all for that, because that's big. Like, a lot of people don't talk about step-parents and, excuse me, the step-children dynamic, but being a step-parent is a big thing. Like, it's huge to me because I've walked in those shoes and I know what it takes to be that type of person. And so I applaud any and every step-parent that's doing the job that they're supposed to do and loving those kids just like they are your own, because basically they are your own if you're a part, especially when you get married. And that's how my step-kids came in when we got married. But, yeah, I applaud y'all for that. And I know we got some listeners right now that want to ask us questions and join in. So.
Okay, ready?
All right, Mia, are you there?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm here. I just
All right,
wasn't sure, like, the dynamic, so I just didn't want to, like, jump in.
That was mighty nice of you. Go ahead, Mia.
Don't start while your mom and dad is on the line. Well, first of all, I have to say. Well, first of all, I have to say that despite the clear back and forth between me and Tone, you guys have raised an amazing man. He's a sweetheart when he wants to be. We'll leave it there. He's a sweetheart when he wants to be. But to Ms. Bankhead, I just wanted to ask, like, what are some of the, I guess, keys to being a good mom to your husband's kids?
Communication. Talk to them, talk to the mothers. I know it's going to be difficult because you're, stepping in. Remind the child that you're not trying to take the mother's place, but you want to be there to help them become the best person that they want to be. Okay. I'm not going to tell you it's easy. It's difficult. I have a 32-year-old challenge because she came from situations that was not of my household. And then trying to get her adjusted to my household roles were difficult. But we talk now. We talk all the time. Too much sometimes. But it's the communication. You have to show a child that you love them. And a lot of children not getting that love. A lot of parents want to be their teenager's friend. I'm sorry. I don't want to be Antonio's friend. I don't even like Antonio as a child sometimes.
You don't like me.
I used to hung out in high school. Okay, that would be a kid that I mean on the street and he looked like he say something stupid. I would have hit him in the head or something like that. But he's my child, and I love him, and I know how he is. But we want to be our children's friend. I'm not trying to be my child's friend. I wasn't trying to be my stepchildren's friend. I was trying to be that parent. So if that other parent was unable to, or at that time they was with me, could not do something, then I need for them to be able to come to me to be disciplined, not as harshly as your mom or your other dad would have, but to be disciplined as well as to be praised when you're doing well. I have stepdaughters that raising their children independently, and there are some awesome women. I mean, whoa, because I wouldn't want to be a single mother right about now. So I applaud them. I applaud their parents. I applaud all of them. It's that communication you got to have. You don't talk with children. You don't talk at them. You talk to them. You don't laugh at them. You laugh with them. You don't love them for distance. You love them here and now, okay? Right now. I love you right now. And you tell them you do. You know, just sending a text, I love you, or I'm thinking about you, or, hey, come on, let's go walk down the block or something like that, because I love you, and I think you're an awesome person. I know that stuff sounds corny, but our kids are going through so much stuff right now. They need every aunt, uncle, cousin, Ray down the street that's legal and legit to help take care of them. I came from it takes a village to raise a child. It does. You know, but some of our sisters ain't right. We got to be able to weed folks out of our kids' lives. That may be sister's boyfriend that's sort of shady. I'm sorry. They out there. But you got to listen to your children, because children will tell you everything they want you to know. They want to be disciplined in this house. You don't have to always beat them down. You know, you may not have to do anything negative to discipline a child. Antonio disciplined sometime for me. He was growing up with watching PBS. You know,
you ain't gotta tell anybody I was watching PBS. I need to know I watch PBS.
Mr. Bankhead, during the dating process with Miss Diane, what was the biggest struggle with developing your relationship with Tone?
He's not even in the room.
See, look, I wasn't difficult. I wasn't. Okay. Y'all have to understand. My dad really wasn't in my life, so.
But you know what? That doesn't mean that nobody's saying that you were difficult. What I was asking, although he's gone, I was asking, like, sometimes when you're developing a relationship with, I'm like Jacob, I hate to say this word, when you're developing a relationship with a stepchild, like, sometimes you get, like, you hit those hurdles. You know what I mean? You don't always make them and jump over them. Sometimes you hit those hurdles. True. So I wanted to see, like, what hurdles he hit with kind of getting to know you and developing that relationship with you. Well, as you know.
Diane, where did Mike go?
No, I can't speak from him. I can't speak for Mike, but I'll speak from a man's point of view. What I went through, I think the most difficult thing for me was getting to learn the kids' attitude, their dislikes and their likes. Certain things that might be said would send somebody off one way, where you'll say the same thing to another kid and they'll laugh at it and say, "Oh, you're funny," but the other one will be like, "Man, I ain't like that." And it wasn't meant in a way to hurt or put them down or anything like that. For me, and I'm just speaking for me personally, I know you was asking Mike, but for me personally, that was like the most difficult for me because I had to take time to actually learn them and learn their ways and the things that they like and didn't like. And I personally did things like one day I would take the oldest one and we would go get ice cream and we would sit down and talk for an hour and a half. The next day I might grab the youngest one, which Tay was, at the time, Tay was a little baby. And so I would grab Tay and I would go somewhere where he could jump in the ball pit or something, something like that. And then we'll sit down and eat a little dinner or something like that, and we would talk. He was at the age where he understood, but he was still young. And that's, for me, that was I think that was the funnest part of it, even though it was hard to learn them in a way, but it was fun for me because I really got to know them in that way. And it's a lot of, let's say, step-parents or people coming into relationships with women or men that have kids that they're going to be around that don't want to be around the kids. They don't want to have nothing to do with them. And I know a lot of people, and I've been reading it online, and I've been talking in the group and my like page, a lot of people, and I've heard it a few times, where, okay, I'm with your mom, but I don't have to deal with you, which is strange to me, because I feel like
I think that's crazy.
If you're with your parents, you got to accept the kids. If you love their parent that much that you love them and you want to be around them and you want to get to know them and you know that they have kids, then you accepting them as a package deal. So I forget that. I know a few people that's in that situation where they don't want to deal with the kids at all, and now they're married. I know a few people like that, and it's like, yo, what do I do? That's one of the things I wanted to bring up later, though. But go ahead, Tom.
All right. So I don't want to keep my mom and my dad on the line any more longer because I know they got their TV watching time, getting close to the news. And they got to watch the news. They will tell you that. No, they'll tell you in a heartbeat, like, you interrupt my TV time.
Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you, guys. I enjoyed it. Thank you.
Okay.
I wasn't done
Go
yet.
ahead, Tom.
All right.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Before I let y'all go, I'm going to give y'all this one and only golden opportunity that I don't do any other time. You guys can tell what you feel like is probably the most embarrassing moment of me growing up.
Oh, my God.
In the whole world. I'm going to allow y'all to do that. I'm going to be a little bit vulnerable right now.
You know what? I'm trying to think.
Don't do nothing embarrassing.
No, because our family creed is don't go out there and do nothing to embarrass the family. That's what
exactly. So we don't have that problem. I don't do nothing embarrassing.
I think when he was dating his wife, I came home for lunch with my boss.
I know you was going to say that one.
Whoa!
I know you was going to say that one.
Oh, it's about to get good.
Y'all don't interrupt now. Getting ready to
go.
Okay, whatever they was doing at the time, and you could see it on both of them's face, like, damn, we busted. I think that's it. He hasn't done anything in his life, I don't think, to embarrass us at all. He's proud. He gave me granddaughter. I'm waiting for the Teenage Mutant Ninja.
You are not getting any more kids. Go adopt a dog. I'm done.
If I can say this, you said that with the first one, right? I remember when we first found out that Tone was having a baby. And we was like, oh, okay, Tone. Like, and when she got a little older, we was like, okay, like, you going to have some more? He's like, no, I'm not having any more. And then.
Okay, Tiana just happened. Tiana just happened. I didn't ask for this. No,
that's exactly right. She's my baby. That's exactly right.
No, I'm done. No, I'm actually done.
Miss Diane, before you get off the phone, right, I have to tell you this amazing story about your son before you hang up, right? So me and this guy have been friends since, I don't know, Tone, high school, later high school, right? And so I waited until I got out of college to have my kids because I just promised myself that I would wait out until I got out of college. So when I found out I was pregnant, right, Tone was like, oh, my God, you're pregnant. Like, I think he probably was more excited than I was, just like as my friend. Miss Diane, when I tell you that he stuck in there with me my whole pregnancy, and when I needed McDonald's in the middle of the night, like, he would come, or if I was sick, like, he would come help me. And I thought that was so amazing because it really tells how much you guys made sure that he was not only a good person, but a good man. And so we weren't dating or anything. Like, it wasn't, it wasn't anything crazy. He just was there for me, and he stuck by me. And so now him and parents have this, like, ridiculously crazy relationship where she kind of checks on him and he'll check on her. Like, she'll ask me and he'll ask me about her.
Because Terrence acts like Lily.
I just had to tell you that because he, although we have our little alts, he's a great guy. Like, you guys did amazing.
That's awesome.
Well, thank you. Okay, one thing, Antonio, then I'll let you go. I had called you to find out, did you get that password?
Yes. They were watching Netflix last night.
Okay, I just wanted to know.
Yes, they've been off and on. I didn't put it on their tablets. I just put it on the Xbox because you got to regulate them, too. They'll watch Netflix until it tells them, are you still watching? So, and then Kiana will be mad because she can't find the remote to change it. So, it's not on their tablet.
So this can go on 4 things at one time. That's all I was calling.
It's on 2. Okay. I'll make sure your baby call you when we get back to the house.
Okay. All right. Love you guys. I hope I answered y'all's questions.
Love you too, Diane. Thank you so much. You were amazing. Thank you.
Hang up the phone.
There are no stepchildren. The government don't look at the stepchildren. You're getting money for to do your taxes. They're your children.
That's right.
Hey, you can only claim 3. Now hang up the phone.
All right, I'll talk to you guys.
Bye, Mother.
Have a good night.
Bye.
Hilarious.
Honestly, I thought too much.
You have awesome parents, dude. That is awesome.
I have childish parents. Childish. And just to go ahead and finish her story, because she didn't tell you the whole part. So, yes, we got caught fucking. But we didn't open the door caught fucking. We just got caught fucking because we just got done and she came home. She goes and asks Teresa, what were y'all just doing? Teresa opens her mouth and says, we just got done having sex. With the straightest face, plainest day. Like, it wasn't the fact that we got caught, because at that point in time, I didn't care. We're adults. It was the fact that she said it with a straight face to my mother in front of her coworker. I was more embarrassed for the coworker than anything.
That's funny.
I'm just saying. Like people.
That is hilarious.
But yeah, you guys got a little small fragment of Jermaine and where he comes from.
So you might as well go and say your name. You might as well go and say your name now.
Nope. Go back and listen to this episode again if you want to know my whole government, because my dad damn sure put it all out there.
Hey, if you listening, If you're listening online and you want to call in and join us, pick up your phone, call 347-989-8472. That's 347-989-8472 to call in and join us. Come on, can we go to commercial break or something?
Let me see what I got here, bro.
I think we need one for that.
Yeah, we need one. I need one. All right, so this week's artist spotlight was actually debuted on the Man Cave. So make sure you guys go on SoundCloud, type in Tonedef Radio, and check out the Man Cave as we did our debut episode. This is a group of friends of mine out of Milwaukee known as Mr. Link. They've been on hiatus for a little bit, but they actually just came back with their new debut single called Wake Up. So you guys check this out while we take a break. I go get some water. I go cuss my mom out real quick. And we'll be right back. We'll be back.
I came to Jesus just as I was.
Facts.
Good morning, rise and shine, open your eyelids. Time to evolve, let's defy all our odds and break free. Word to Ari, you won't unleash me. Mainly cause my third eye shines and I see. Peace to M. Island, bro, I define me. Took me a minute, I was faded from that Hennessy. Remedy for pain, left me shackled in the range. I had to retract my thoughts, had to derail that train and get my focus back. Yes, my heart's intact. Now as a black man living, I feel so detached. Imagine walking around with a bullseye on your back, being adjacent to greatness, fam, they hate that. So we igniting a flame, leaving them all amazing. Y'all walking around acting like y'all still on a slave ship. It ain't how it should be, that ain't reality, G. Next time they approach you, make sure they treat you like royalty.
Went from the bottom to the top. Addicts Christmas, you know they still trying to Jim Crow us, Willie Lynch us. Well, let's explain further. Like birds of a feather, we always plot to murder. Divide and merger, pardon, I mean gentrify. Take your identity, identify you as a suspect. But all that bullshit defied. Been chasing dreams and Martin died, but we still alive.
A world full of demons, enlightenment is needed. We fighting for freedom with those that smited our leaders. Despite the fight, they still despise all the teachings. We are proud not to stand for that pledge of allegiance, cause those bodies are bleeding cold on the cement. I know you seen it, but we ain't patriotic. Blatant racism, the hatred, they hate us, but to be honest, give two fucks. Middle fingers up, that's the synonyms of one rule. Fuck your feelings, then my mood is militant, and my sentiments fuck the system. If my 2 cents in it, you too sensitive. Sorry for cursing, my people feel worthless, put over, get nervous, hearses and funeral services. More dead black bodies in churches. Is it worth it? What's your purpose? To split us and stop the proper development? Convince us we irrelevant, killers think about settlements. The evidence is evident through bullshit and the rhetoric. Watch y'all edit our etiquette and use it for pop culture. Watch these bullshits.
Wake up, 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 wake up.
Please, wake up.
You are listening to the one and only The Breakdown right now. Hey, this has been a real good conversation. We're going to keep it flowing. We're going to keep it going. I know I'm thinking that Tone got the lines open right now. The
lines are wide open like a prostitute on a Saturday.
Is there any advice you would give, and this is to anybody that's on right now, to those who are stepping in or venturing into becoming a step-parent? Does anyone have any advice, either from a step-child point of view when you were a child or you being a step-parent now? Do you have any advice for anybody? Because I know we got a lot listening.
I got some advice. All right. So one of the biggest things that just over time, not just dealing in my own situation, but just like counseling and talking to so many people and seeing things you go through, the number one thing that as a step parent that I realized that you have to realize, and you kind of said it earlier, was you don't have to force the relationship. Not every single kid is going to accept you as being their step parent as much as you're being your mom or your dad's new spouse. That comes over time. You need to develop a relationship with them. You don't have to like what they do. You don't have to understand what the kid does. You just have to give them the respect. One of the things that I've noticed is it also depends on how old the kid is in correlation to the mom or the dad. Because, little boys are always going to be resistive of their mom getting a new man when you're looking at a preteen to a teen to a young adult. I mean, once a man becomes a young adult, he's out in the world. And if you're not violating their personal space or making them go from a baby boy to a man, you normally don't have too many issues with the boy. He wants his mom happy. If you making his mom happy, he's content. But that middle age, that from 10 to like 23, you taking away his first girlfriend, and they get kind of defensive in regards to that. That's that issue I've seen a lot. I've seen it a lot. Even before I got married, just dating some women who had kids in that age, it was always a conflict and there's always an issue. And over time, I stopped trying to force that relationship. I just allow things to gradually happen in those situations where, yeah, I'm spending the night, or yeah, your mom's coming over by my house and you going by your grandma. You got the option to come over to the house too. You don't have to stay there. You don't have to go by your grandma. But if you're going to have an attitude or you're going to be disrespectful, no, you're not coming. And then you come over by my house and you find out I got all the latest video games. I got all the cracking anime stuff. I got stuff that a young boy would love to have because I won't let go of my childhood. And you come to find out I'm probably the coolest dude you ever know, but because you didn't want to lose your first girlfriend, you missed out on all these opportunities to do things fun that you wasn't being able to do growing up in a single-parent household. So, big thing is don't force it. Don't ever force it. Let it come naturally. Let it develop. Like my mom said, communication. Speak to your new spouse. Speak to your kids. Get an understanding of everything because their dynamic was already there. You are now adding to their dynamic or bringing their dynamic into your world. So you got to find that compromise. Yeah, the mom might beat the living shit out of her son every time you get out of hand. That don't mean you step up and beat the nigga too. You know? You got to find that dynamic, how to discipline. It's like, hey, this is your son. And you do it while he there. This is your son. Okay? But your son is fucking up my shit. Now, I love you, and I love this little nigga, too. We're going to figure out a compromise what we're going to do in regards to this little nigga before you start messing up some more shit. Because depending on the mother, she might turn around and be like, well, beat his ass then. You heard it. Your mama said it. You know what I'm saying? That's all I did. You heard her say it. So test it. Stop all shit.
And two, like I said before, too, usually them kids know anyway. They know how you feel about it. So, I mean, when I stepped, I'm gonna talk from my point where I was at. When I stepped in, as far as I could see, like I literally moved from Alabama to Pennsylvania.
You a real nigga for that.
And I wanted to see what was going on for real. Because people could say this and that. Me and their mom met. We met online. And when we met online, we used to do it wasn't FaceTime at the time. We was actually on Yahoo. I don't know if y'all remember this, but Yahoo used to have
Yahoo
chat
Messenger
rooms in the day. They used to have chat rooms back in the day. And I met her in a chat room. And I used to always go in the chat room as the African Love King. That was my name.
What, bro?
Everybody knew
I'm
me
in the,
as AFK.
I'm in the show. I'm in the show. The show's over.
But I'm just saying, that was my name. And one day, I went into the room, and I was in there for a little while, and everybody in the room that knew me, or people that didn't even know me, but they saw me in the room, started typing my name in and saying, hey, that's your queen. Your queen is right there. And she swears to this day that was the first time that she ever came into the room. But her name, the way she spelled her name was the way that I spelled mine, except for instead of king, she had African Love Queen. And I was like, what? Whatever, man. And that's how we met. And we started conversing and talking as friends. And we would talk while she was in Pennsylvania and I was here. And we would talk online through the Yahoo chat. They had cameras, the way you could talk through the cameras and all that back then. Back then, that was the only way. There was no, Glide and all these different video apps that you got now today. We didn't have all of that. And so we used to talk all the time online. And the kids would always jump in the camera and be like, hey, Jacob, hey, how you doing? Woo. I got to know the kids that way. And I'm going to be honest with you. I fell in love with them because of even seeing them on camera and how the respect that they had for their mom. And when I actually went to Pennsylvania, I actually went there and I told my parents, I'm going to Pennsylvania. I'm going for a week. I'm just going to visit. I'll be back. I left. I went to Pennsylvania. When I got to Pennsylvania, my ex had bath water drawn for me. She had food on the table. They came and picked me up from the bus station. I went in, and she said, I know you're tired. I know you wore out. Go in, take your shower, your bath or whatever. It was rose petals all in the tub with candles all around it. And I kid you not, I swear, I put this on my daughter. I got my phone. I went into the bathroom and started getting out of my stuff. And I called my dad. And the first thing that I said to him, he said, hey, how you doing? Did you make it? And I said, Dad, I'm never coming back home. And I said, if I do, it's going to be with my wife. And when I came back to Alabama, that's how I came back. We were married. We got married in Pennsylvania. It was like a year and a half later. But at that time, we had been talking probably 2 years to date before I left. And I got there. The kids were so respectable. They were yes, sir, and no, sir. And they were respectable to her. And for a while, I hadn't seen that. Even being in the South, where we are raised to do that. Yes, sir. No, sir. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. Thank you. You're welcome. I hadn't seen that. And it was like, wow, these are some good kids. And to this day, like I said earlier, I'm not with their mom right now, but I still talk to them. I talk to the oldest one, and he's moved out. He's been gone from home about 4 years. And I talk to Charles maybe 5 times a month just to talk to him, see how he's doing, see what's going on. Same with the rest of them. Of course, my daughter, I talk to her a little bit more, but that's a whole nother situation in itself. We just started back talking like this. It had been 14 years, and I hadn't seen my daughter. And for those parents that's out there, the guys that's out there, and you think it'll never happen, I was in the same boat. I was like, I ain't going to never see my daughter till she get grown. And God worked it out to where I was able to sit down and talk to her. At the time now, I'm not saying this is going to happen overnight because it didn't happen overnight with me. But me and my daughter have the most excellent relationship now of her getting to know me again and me getting to know her again because I wasn't there. And it wasn't by me not wanting to be there, but because of the situation, her mom left. And some ladies, you have to understand, sometimes us guys don't have the means to do what we want to do, especially the good guys. We get looked at real bad because people say, God, damn, it was 14 years and you ain't talked to her? What the hell was you doing? What was... It's hard. Believe it. I hear it all the time. People me all... But, did y'all lose me for a minute? But
yeah.
I don't know if y'all heard anything I was saying.
You cut out for a second, but you came back here.
Okay, but yeah, I just want the guys to know that's out there that's wanting to be in their child's life, and they have some kind of problem where they can't be. There is a way. It will be made known to you. It will happen if you keep the faith and keep pressing and keep trying. Doors will open. Because when me and my daughter first got together, when I went up there, we went to Maryland, and my daughter was so standoffish from me. And her mom told me straight up, she's mad at you. She is so mad at you because you ain't been around. You ain't been talking to her. And that's a whole nother conversation. But I'm so glad that I was able to talk to her and we got a good relationship now. Does anybody have any input they want to put in?
Well, I have a question. Well, not more like a question, but I just want, more question. So say you were in a relationship with somebody and you know that they have a child and you still stayed in that relationship and you and that child have a bonding, but the mother of the child would always have like different kind of stuff that she would tell the child. Basically not to listen to anything that she says or, anything. So how would you deal with that situation?
Actually, and I don't know if you know this, but that's my situation. That's literally my situation. My daughter was told a lot about me, how I didn't want to be in her life. That's why I left. And I never left. Her mom left. I was still in the same place that I had always been. But she left. She was told that to give up on me and stop trying to get in touch with me. When I was in Atlanta, me and my daughter used to talk all the time, almost daily, because she had a cell phone at the time. And I'm working hard right now to get her a cell phone again. We used to talk all the time. She would call me, and I would be driving to work. And I'll say, hey, how you doing? What's going on? Ooh. And she'll know because she could hear in the background. And she was younger then that I was driving. And she'll be like, hey, no, I can call you back. You driving. I'll be like, yo, I got a Bluetooth on. I'm good. And we would have conversations. We would talk like that. It took a while now because we haven't been in communication with each other like that, like we used to. But I would say keep doing what you're doing. Keep trying to talk to them. Keep the communication lines open. Communication is the key. That's especially for me. It was a big time key because she was clear across the country at one time. She's way closer than she was a while ago. But at one time, she was way across the country where I couldn't just jump in my car and go down there. Now I can jump in a car and I can take a ride and be there in a few hours. It wouldn't take that. long like it did before. But I would say communicate, regardless of not, especially even if that other parent doesn't want you to communicate with them. Try. Because 9 times out of 10,
No, I mean, we have a great relationship. You know, she's grown. You know, she's grown now. I was there for the birth of her child or whatever. She has no communication with her mom now because her mom, you know, was, you know, feeding her with like, you don't listen to anything that, you know, Faith says, don't do anything she tells you to do. But at the same time, this little girl is looking for that motherly figure and wanted somebody not to be, you know, wanted somebody to always be there for them. So she clings to me because I gave her that. I spent time. You know, this lady would be like, oh, I don't like her. And this is what the little girl is hearing. Her mom would be on the phone or sitting there with her girlfriends, and her mom would be like, oh, she ain't nothing but a mistake anyway. It was a one-night stand, and she ain't going to never amount to anything. So she hears this and thinks this the rest of her life.
Make yourself available. You should, and I was speaking from my own personal experience as far as my daughter, but as a step-parent, what I did was I made myself available. I let them know that anytime they needed to talk, anytime they needed a conversation or anything, they could call me. If I'm close to them, I'll come and get them, or we'll go to the house, or whatever the case may be. But the key is making yourself available in that communication, the conversation. That's the biggest thing. Especially kids, they just want somebody to talk to. And in that situation, like you said, she can't talk to them like she probably would be able to talk to you. Just let her know, yo, I'm open. Whenever you need to talk to me, here's my number. Here's whatever. Get in touch with me. And I promise you it'll pay off big for you. Uh-oh.
You said what?
Yeah. I said just make yourself available, and it'll pay off big for you. I promise you that. That's all they need. They need somebody to talk to, somebody that's open, that will have communications with them, and will be honest with them. Mm-hmm. They want us to be honest. So, yeah, that's the biggest thing, self-available to them. You're listening to the breakdown right now. We're live. If you want to call in and join us, all you got to do is pick up your phone and call 347-989-8472. That's 347-989-8472. Our lines are wide open. Anybody want to ask a question, they got a comment, feel free to do so now. I'm still vibing off of the conversation with Tone's parents. That's an awesome relationship, and that's the relationship step parents and step kids should have with one another. That is awesome. If those kids accept you for who you are when you come into their life, it is the biggest thing as a step parent. And I appreciate them. They just don't know. That is so awesome. And I'm looking at this comments and stuff right now. Our listeners appreciate them too.
Stop gassing my parents up. They not that great.
Bruh, I'm just saying, you don't see that a lot.
Yeah, they are, Tone, because some people won't come out and talk about their relationship like that. You don't get that much.
I'm just hating.
You know.
On I know my parents are awesome. They were awesome people. That's why I made the call to them on the fly.
That was good.
He's low right now.
This is where all this greatness comes from. You see where it came from, right?
Yes, sir. When your dad started talking, bro, when your stepdad started talking, I said, "Oh, that's where that comes from." Okay, because I can tell.
They both.
I can tell. I can tell. No, what I'm saying is, I can tell. There's a difference when, and I'm not saying moms don't do a great job. Moms do an awesome job. Awesome.
Yes, they do.
To all those single parent mothers that's out there, I applaud you. That is the hardest job in the world, being by yourself and raising kids. I applaud you 110%. When you have a step parent, especially a man that comes into a child's life, and I can tell that y'all have a great, even joking with each other, have a great relationship. You don't see that every day.
You really don't.
You don't. Because a lot of kids that's in that situation still have because they feel like, why did my parents break up? Why aren't they together anymore? I know this because I've worked in child welfare, and I've heard them talk. I've heard these kids talk that's at the children's home, and they don't understand it, and they can't get it, and I don't understand what's going on and why they can't be in the home with their parents, or their parents split up, or one of them passed away, or whatever the case may be. And you just don't see it a lot, especially nowadays.
A lot of that has to do with communication, though, man. Like, a lot of parents don't properly communicate why mommy and daddy ain't together no more. Or, and I hate to put this on women, but I've seen women do it more than men. They talk down on the other parent. And that's another thing that step parents need to do too, is when you're still in that role of that other parent, regardless of how lackadaisical that parent is, don't talk down on that other parent. You don't know the relationship that kid has visualized that parent in their head, regardless of whatever the reason is, but like, don't downplay it. Like you can pay attention. My stepdad didn't say nothing about my real dad. Nothing. He was a bad person. It just wasn't a good situation when it came to his parenting skills. But excuse me.
I hear you.
But the plus
I agree
to it is,
110% with that.
Yeah. And the thing about it is my dad, my actual birth father, he was a great dude. My other brother and my other two sisters can sit there and tell you stories for days about my real dad. I can barely tell you 2 things about my real dad. Okay? He looks like Bernie Mac, and he works a lot. That's all I can say. But, and my mom, and you know, I love her to death, and I had to get on her about this when we were younger too. This is why I say women don't do this. She would constantly always tell me how my dad wasn't shit because he wouldn't step up and be a man to handle his responsibilities. And luckily, I'm not that kind of kid who takes that thought and holds on to it. I've always been that person. Prove to me. If you say that you're a great person, prove to me you're a great person. I'm not going to listen to what nobody else says. I'm going to let your actions show. You know?
Exactly.
And a lot of parents do that. They talk down on the other parent, and now it's like the step parent comes in and you have to, number one, fight against this image that the parent creates. So the man has to come in and was like, well, my mama said my daddy wasn't shit. What makes you any better than him? So now you already got a wall up against you. Or, oh my God, women. Do not do this. Do not down talk your child's father, ex-husband, or whatever to your daughter. Okay? Do not do that. Because that man is very important to them. And the more you talk bad about they daddy, the harder your teenage relationship will be, regardless.
I agree.
But
and
no,
we got a listener
that's
listening. we got a listener that's listening right now that just said, sent me a message and said it doesn't matter what the custodial parents say or don't say about the missing parent. Kids tend to put things together by the early teens.
Right.
And that's
right.
correct.
What I'm saying.
I agree 110% with that.
Right. Let them put it together. Don't give them the pieces to put it together. Like, Jacob, you're a prime example right now. You currently have an issue with your actual daughter and trying to repair a relationship that was 100% damaged by the mother. You have no idea what was going on. But your daughter thinks these things because of that. And you have to repair that regardless. The mother doesn't realize that she did what she damaged all men to that girl. Because now this is a thought she will have about every man. So if she decides to go out and get herself yet another husband, her views on that man is going to be tainted because of the ideas that her mother put in her head about men. So now she's going to have relationship issues. Luckily, you and her now have a form of communication, and you can help rebuild her trust in men again. But imagine if you couldn't get a hold of her. Imagine how she could turn out, all because of that miscommunication that the custodial parent gave to her.
And I'm going to be honest with you, so, and I think I'm speaking for a lot of guys and a lot of women out here right now that's in my situation. Because there are some
turning
women.
Pages?
That's my fan.
Oh, will you turn your fan
loud.
off when you on air?
It's loud. It's a ceiling fan. But there are some women that's in this situation because I don't know, the judge decided that the child should be with their father instead of them for whatever reason, and probably have been beating themselves down because of it, or whatever the state may be. And you know that parent is saying other stuff or feeling that they're saying other stuff. It all works itself out. I'm going to tell you from experience, coming from my point of view and my situation with my daughter, to where I would call and she would always have something to do, or she would always be doing something, to now I would call and she would say, oh, well, I was watching TV, but I'm not doing anything. Let's talk. To I used to call and she'd be like, oh, well, she's watching TV. You need to call her back. And I would call her back. Oh, well, she's in bed now. And I'll call her again. Well, she's not here. And I know she's there because I hear her in the background. To now
some of that could have been the mother too, though.
Yeah.
Some of that could have been the mother too. That could have been.
It's a point to where now that if she does not hear from me in a couple of days, I'm in trouble. I'm going to get it. I already know, because either the situation where I couldn't call or whatever it is, and she'll ask me as soon as she get on the phone, why I haven't heard from you? What's going on? It used to be back in the day where she had her own phone and she would call me. She doesn't have that anymore. So I'm not having to. I get to call her anyway, but I was so used to her calling me that sometimes I would go to call her and my phone would be ringing. And I'd be like, what? She must have been thinking about me like I was thinking about her just now. And that kind of
getting off sentimental shit.
That's the kind of
getting off sentimental shit. Well, I feel
like
you on that. No, I'm not, and I'm not disagreeing with you. Like, no, all honestly though, that has actually always been one of my biggest fears. Like, I never wanted to have kids outside of wedlock. And it had nothing to do with the religious aspects of it, or this is how your parents raised you. No, mentally, I just did not want to have kids outside of marriage because, one, there's so much more freedom for you and your kids to get separated. Like any given moment, the relationship can. People are less likely to end a relationship when you're married because there's so much legality involved in it. There's so much funds and financials and investments all tied into it together that people are less likely to, one, take those risks that can damage the relationship, and two, less likely to walk out the relationship. Whereas if you're just dating, you guys happen to get pregnant, you got a kid, if you don't have that proper guidance on how to be a parent, some men will get up and walk away because they don't know how to handle it. Other women will just be like, I don't want to deal with you because you can't provide. The relationship can end easily. Okay? The relationship can end easily during a moment of frustration. And next thing you know, I have limited communication with my kids. Okay? It could be because in order for me to financially take care of my kids like I want to, I got to work twice as hard. Or the mom decides to be one of those people that just don't want you to see your kids unless it's on her terms. Or maybe I realized that was a toxic relationship, so I go and find me somebody that I really want to be with that builds me up, and that cuts into my kids' time. Because I've even seen some situations where the step-parent doesn't want you interacting with your kid due to the fact that that other parent is a problem.
Yeah.
See, we've been talking about the positive side of step-parenting because my mom and dad came online and just blew everybody's mind of great black love and whatnot. But we didn't get a chance to touch the evils of step-parenting. And yes, people, there are evils to step-parenting that we just don't want to realize is there. Like, one, sometimes that step-parent doesn't want you interacting with your other. They don't want nothing to do with that kid that can cause that kid to not be able to deal with you. I'm going to go ahead and tell you a little bit something else about me since I've been so vulnerable tonight overall. Me and my real dad honestly did not have the kind of relationship that I felt we should have had because of both his wives. He got married twice. His very first wife was the third woman he dated after dealing with my mom and my sister's mom. Now, my mom and my sister's mom had a friendship that developed because me and my sister are only 7 months apart. Okay? So young teenage love, where one man created two kids, they have to work in some kind of unison to make sure these kids get everything they need. And we were good. My mom didn't want to deal with my dad and all that extraness, so we went off and did our own thing over here. My sister and my sister's mom and dad still continued to try to make their relationship work. It did. It got toxic. My sister and her mother moved down south. My dad moved on to his next relationship, who he ended up marrying that woman and gave birth to my brother. That woman wanted my dad to focus on his son with her and his son only. Okay?
Wow.
As in regards to my sister refused to not have her dad in her life. So she fought with that woman verbally, emotionally, spiritually, and I think at one point physically. Okay? To make sure she kept her communication with her dad. Dad loves his daughter, so he wasn't going to let that bond sever to begin with. But he had his son that he was able to raise from birth, that me and his connection wasn't that good. But when it boiled down to it, his wife played a major factor in that. Now, I would never talk ill about her outside of she played a factor in that, because she's still a great woman. She had to deal with a broken man who had two kids prior to before her, and you still want this man to focus on the kid he created, as well as the fact that you're bringing another kid into the relationship from your previous relationship/marriage. So there was a lot going on in that dynamic. Well, let's just say by the time my brother turned 20 years old, that relationship ended. Okay? It probably ended sooner than that, but to the best of my knowledge, it definitely ended when he hit about 21. through that time frame again, my dad went out and, met some more women. He's back on the market. He gets married. This woman did not want this man to have any ties with any of his kids, period. It was so bad. One, my dad didn't come to my wedding. Two, I'm okay with that, in my honest opinion. I had my mom. I had my stepdad, Mike, my dad. I had my boys, and Teresa had her family and people. That's all I needed for that particular event. Okay, I had everybody I needed. My sister, on the other hand, who got married 1 month later to the same guy she had been dating for damn near 10 years before they even got married. His new wife, my other stepmother, told him, "You're going to the family reunion in California instead of going to your daughter's wedding."
Wow.
Whoa.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
That's
Take into consideration his other daughter was only about, how old is Tay? Tay is just now turning 16, 17. So my father died not being at the wedding of any of his kids. All because, now some step parents can be, now, once again, I didn't know this woman as well as I knew my brother's mom. Okay? So I will not talk ill about her in the sense of she was a horrible person. But she was not good for my father in the long run. During my father's last day on this earth, he was actually going through a divorce with her. It wasn't until this time frame that I finally actually got an opportunity to see my father for the third time in my whole life.
Wow.
Sadly, that third time I seen my father in my whole life, he was actually already on his deathbed. Okay?
Wow.
Now, take into consideration that had I not had a man who stepped up to be the father I need, or had uncles who truly believed in raising a whole village like a leader. And it would have been a bad thing if my dad, my actual birth father, was somebody who was out here bad. He wasn't. He was a good, hard-working man that took care of his family, handled his responsibilities, held down 2 jobs. They had a side chick here and there every once in a while, but he still handled his business with his other kids. See what I'm saying?
Wow.
Yeah. And a lot of that had to do with the influences that his wives had on him. Okay?
Yeah.
So
I believe it.
With situations like that going on, that's where part of my I will not bring kids into this world unless I'm married really came into play. And for those who know me, Lily and TT wasn't born until I was in my mid-30s. Okay? So that means I went through all of my 20s with no kids. So that's when situations like Jessamia said earlier, where I would step up and help her out. Teresa used to get on me all the time. I would cling to women with kids. I would, literally, all someone has to say is, can you help me out because you loan me? I need to get this for my baby while it comes open. Literally. That's all it took. Okay? But as time went on, of course, I had to learn where the scams were and where the struggle was. And once I started weeding those two out, it became less and less of me doing that. But it's really to a point where, you really have to look at both sides of the person that you're marrying for people who do have kids. Look at their mentality or their motives. Because sometimes they're only marrying you for what you can do for them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Yeah.
You can have a whole village of kids. They don't care about the other 6 kids you had before we got married. What are you going to do for me and mine that you're marrying into? Okay? And you got to be careful with that. Sometimes people will just like, well, you know what, baby, I love you. I'll take care of the kids. I'll worry about that when I get there. Also, when people get older, sometimes the step-parent don't give a fuck about the kids. If we in our 40s and we in our 50s and we get married and your kid is 24, 25, I don't need to be your friend. I don't need to get to know your kids. Your kid is grown. Your kid should be getting ready to have kids. I'm not here for you. I'm not here for them. What am I going to teach them? They grown. They making their mistakes now. I'm here for you. We married. So them kids can go somewhere.
Yeah, it's definitely when the kids are of age like that. It is completely different.
It's a completely different scenario. Yeah. I can give at that point in time, if knock on wood, if me and Tristan got divorced, I moved on with my life and I remarried. And the person I remarried to, kids, is over the age of 24. I'm not going to bust my butt to make you happy. I'm not going to please your kids. I don't need their permission to marry you. For what? Oh, you need to get the okay from me before you can marry my mom. No, I don't, nigga. You need to go to work. You need to go find you some pussy to get in. That's what you need to do. Don't worry about what me and your mama doing over here. Don't make me come out this room butt ass naked, making some eggs for her like this is baby.
Oh my God!
You don't want this.
I just saw the movie in my head.
You don't want this. This is not about you anymore.
Oh my God!
This is about your mama and what she needs.
Right. Oh my God. No, I mean that's just like, I mean, you know, my mom didn't date. You know, my dad passed away when I was 11, and she didn't get into no relationship until maybe I was 17. Maybe I was 17. She got into a relationship with a light-skinned Freddy Cougar. I mean, I'm just saying. But
did you say a light-skinned Freddy Cougar?
Yep, he looked just like Freddy Cougar. But he just
with the scars on the face and everything.
With the scars, the lips. He had like this skin on his lips. I'm sorry, Lord, forgive me for I sin. But anyways, but she ended up being with this man, huh?
She married him, so she liked.
Yeah, she married him. I mean, because he was. He did her right for a couple of years, okay? But then it became to the point where he started putting his hands on her. Then it became a problem, you know. And, you know, she got three boys and I'm the only girl. So it wasn't okay because my brothers are crazy and so was I. And, you know, we didn't put our hands on him, but we let him know this is not okay, you know. And then he tried to get his family to come after my brothers and then try to have his sister after me. Well, that wasn't going to happen. But, you know, he tried his best. And, you know, my mom was like, oh, it's going to be okay, you know. But the last time is he bit my mom, where he bit all her skin off on her hand.
Who does that?
Like a animal, okay? He was definitely an animal. And, you know, I tried to leave that lifestyle alone of trying to kill people, get to know me for many years. And that day we had to see my mom the way that we seen her. And to look at this man, we made this man, he had to leave. There was no more. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
And it took us a minute. You know, he tried to, her kids are up there. They're trying to beat me up and blase skippy. well, we wasn't trying to. You know, one of my brothers had a machete, and he was ready to slice and dice, but the police stopped my brothers because they had to move the car. It was a whole story. But lo and behold, you know, my mom ended up passing some years back. But this man still tried to say that he was our stepfather. I never accepted him as a stepfather because you was nice to her only when we was around. But when we left, it was a whole other story. And me, and it might be me being selfish. Anybody, y'all can say, but I didn't feel like nobody else could play the role of my daddy. But that was just me.
But that's most.
But you're a girl. That's like I said earlier. That's normal. A girl and her father's bond is forever. It's like you can't separate. Like I said, if me and Teresa got divorced, knock on wood, we don't. Or even if I passed away, which will probably happen before we ever get divorced.
Amen.
My girls are not going to accept another man as daddy. They not. I already know for a fact Tiana is never going to like you.
Okay.
Tiana is just never going to like you, and it has nothing to do with anything that man may do. That man might buy them girls whatever they want. He might own a whole amusement park, like to get away with anything. They still will never compare to me because there are just things that me and my kids have that we have a relationship to that nobody can ever replace. And that goes back to my earlier statement. No man should ever or woman ever down talk the other biological parent, regardless of how the situation ended.
And that is so true because, I mean, and I can see, you know, I know we were grown kids, we were older. And I know sometimes, you know, my mom would tell him like, oh, now mind you, my dad was married to another woman. But my mom did not know until she had my baby brother. So my mom did not know that my dad was married. But mind you, my dad was married to 5 other women. So it's 31 of us. Okay?
Wait.
Wow.
No.
I never knew that. Well, she said it real fast and kept going this.
Like, hold a minute.
Wait, pause.
So your dad was down with polygamy, but wasn't really a polygamist. He was just out here just marrying everybody.
Right, exactly, but didn't marry my mom. Okay.
So your daddy named Frankie Lyman?
No.
Your daddy named Frankie Lyman? Oh.
No, that's not my dad. You know, he's from Mississippi, so you know. But,
you know what? For some odd reason, they do that. I don't know why. Like,
who do that?
Mississippi do that. People from Mississippi do that.
A lot of them
married
do
to
that in Mississippi.
They get kicked out, move to another relationship, and then try to marry that woman.
Exactly. That's exactly what my dad did. So it's 31 of us children. Okay.
God damn, that's a lot of fucking.
Yeah.
I know, right?
Real.
I know.
Man, your pull out game weak.
I know. And mind you, my dad is the same age as my grandmother. My mom and him was 20 years apart. Yeah.
Wait, what?
Wow.
See?
Yeah.
Wow.
See, when my mom had gave birth to me, my mom was 27. My dad was 47.
What the fuck?
Wow.
Yeah.
Why yo? Can we interview your mama real quick? Is she still here?
Well, I mean, if she was still living, she probably would be on the line.
Her mom
They didn't know my mom.
Her mom was the coolest person, bro.
I'm not saying. I just need some answers. Like,
I know, right? I know.
I just think it's 47. There was no available men your age.
But if you seen him, you would have never thought he was that old.
I don't care. She knew he was that old.
Hey, he was that good.
I never knew that. That's crazy.
I know, right? But like,
I never knew that.
Yeah, it was a lot.
So what is it like? This is like vulnerability shelter night or something?
I don't know.
Everybody just Just putting ourselves out there.
I guess. But it was like, okay, she used to talk to the man that she married about our dad. Like me and my little brother's dad, like she would like down talk him. And then he would try to throw it in his face when they get in an argument. He would throw it in our face like, oh, y'all daddy didn't want y'all. But that was a total lie. But that was just how my mom was feeling because my dad did everything. He took care. I can put I can call a couple of my brothers and sisters and can put them out and vouch. My dad was a great father to all 28 of us because the other ones came like right after when he was about to pass. But
like that means he spent a day with each kid, dude.
I know, man. But you know, a lot lived in Mississippi and Tennessee, then up here in Missouri, you know, and back to Minnesota. And it was just
that's that fertile Mississippi water. I'm not dating no girl down. Not.
Right, but it was like, you know, she would tell him stuff, and then he was he ain't my stepdaddy. That man would throw Freddy Krueger. He would throw it back, try to throw it in our face like, oh, I'm the best thing that ever happened. No, you are not, because my mama was definitely fine without you. You didn't do nothing.
Oh,
like you was not. What did you do? But take her out, wine and dine her.
I mean, some people like to get wine and dine.
That was, but the thing of and don't get me wrong, I understand that my mom wanted to have somebody there to whatever. I'm getting this, but she wanted exactly. She wanted right, so she wanted that, and I totally understand that. But she had us where I'm the one that did her hair. I kept her hair done. I didn't let her go to the shop. My brothers, we fed her. We'll cook the meal and bring it to her, or we cook it right there in her house. That's what we did to keep her together, because she did not need that man. Like, I mean, besides you said having sex, I mean, but it wasn't. He didn't need to be there. Like, that's just me. But I can never call him my stepdad. That never.
Wow. I know our time coming. Our time is shortening up right now. I want to thank everybody that joined us tonight and everybody that called in.
This is probably one of our realest shows ever.
Yeah, and I knew it was gonna be a real show like this. And that's why I wanted everybody to chime in, and I was promoting it the way that I did because I've been getting a lot of messages from that angle of those parents stepping into these kids' lives and wanting to know how I felt about it and how they were dealing with it. Luckily, I'm able to speak to that because I've been there and I've done that. I've been a part of that. Like I said, even though me and their mom are no longer together because I was there, still in contact with them. And all of them are grown now except for my daughter. She's the last one. Tay, who was the baby at the time when I came into the relationship, is 18 now. So they're all like grown. Tay is still there at the house. Him and my daughter are the last two there at the house. But I've watched them grow into wonderful, I'm talking about, and I'm not just saying this because, you know, I was there with them or whatever the case may be, but they've grown into actual wonderful adults. And I prided myself on being able to be a part of their life and now looking at them as adults and seeing what they have grown into, knowing where, you know, when they were younger and knowing how they were raised because they were raised by a good mother. And I'll never fault my my daughter's mom for anything. She is an excellent parent. She takes care of her kids. And I applaud women that do that by themselves.
She's a horrible wife.
Have to, yeah, they have to do, well, they have to do, that by themselves. And I applaud them because it's not an easy job. And sometimes you don't get help from that man. That's why a lot of women call them sperm donors. They're just a sperm donor. They don't help me. They didn't help me raise them. They don't help me clothe them. They don't help me do anything. And those guys don't want to be a part of their kids' life. And they think that a majority of guys feel that way, but there's a lot of men out here that don't feel that way, who want to be a part of their child's life, and they're not allowed to be. And it hurts them. And I know from personal experience, it hurts them when they are not allowed to be in that child's life for one reason or another. And I'm not talking about those guys who've done something that, well, now you can't be a part of their life because you did this or you did that. Those guys, I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about the good guys that get caught up in the mix. And women, some women are getting done like that. I've talked to women that are in the same shoes as these guys are, and they just want to be a part of their child's life. And I just wanted to encourage them and tell them, thank your parents for real, because your parents were a big part of this show, opening up the show. Like, I'm glad you did that. That is awesome. That relationship is the relationship that we strive to be when we get into relationships. And 9 times out of 10, I don't know, I can't speak for everybody, but at my age, there's not too many women out here who don't have kids. I'm 42.
Shit. The age
of
24, there's not too many women out here who ain't got kids.
Well, that's what I'm just saying. And so you, regardless or not, if you want to, 9 times out of 10, you're going to be in this situation. And so I just wanted to shine light upon those step-parents, because step-parents don't get a lot of light shined on them. They don't get applauded like that. They're there, and they're doing the job that some of us should be doing and not allowed to do, or just don't want to do, and they don't have to. I brought that up earlier. This is not something that they have to do, but they do it because they love that woman or they love that man, and they know that these kids are a part of this circle that comes with that person. So I just wanted to shine a light upon them, applaud them, and say, hey, keep doing it. Keep on going. We see you. We know what's going on with you. We appreciate you. And at any time, any of our shows, you want to join us live on the air, all you got to do is pick up your phone and give us a call at 347-989-8472. Don't forget to go to Facebook and like the like page, which is The Breakdown. And we also have a group called The Breakdown. We accept everybody that tries to get in. Well, I go through the pages and make sure people have it's a legit page before I let them into the group. But yeah,
all
we
you
do a lot of this
answer the
type
question
of talking.
thing.
Huh?
So all you got to do is make them answer the question before they can
Well,
join
yeah,
the group.
I just found that out. I just found that out. But we do a lot of these conversations that we do on the show, on air, live in the group. We talk a lot on the like page now. Thank you to everybody who's liking the like page and who's actually conversating with us through the like page. 9 times out of 10, me, Tone, Faith are behind that breakdown logo. So if somebody is talking to you behind that logo, it's probably us. Queen is also a part of this. I hate she could be here. We're thinking about you, Queen, and also Mike. Mike is a new part of the breakdown, and coming in 2018, we're doing a little different, so we're gonna have more hosts than just me. So y'all get ready for that. And
we see your voice.
They probably are.
Don't forget Val.
And I just want to say, and I'm not hating, because I am from Alabama. Congratulations to the Alabama Crimson Tide. They won last night the SEC National Championship. I still say War Eagle all day.
That had to be me. That had to be me.
And I know we got a lot of Alabama fans that are a part of the breakdown group and the light page and that listen to our show. So I just want to say congratulations to you. Georgia, congratulations to you. Y'all played a hell of a game yesterday. That was an awesome game. Next week, ladies and gentlemen, let me do this real quick. Next week, you do not want to miss our show. Usually I'm kind of slow on what we're doing and what's going on with the shows, but I will tell you right now that next week, this is a show you do not want to miss. There is a young man named Ty. I can't think of his full name. Well, here he is. His name is Tyree James Neal. If you are in the group, Tyree is spelled Tyree. If you are in the
got
group,
Tyrese on here. I ain't watching. I ain't coming.
Bro, this dude blows. When I say this dude sings, he is a singer. He has a major following called POW. If you're in the like page, you're on in our group, you probably have seen him because I've been sharing posts in the group and on the like page just so y'all can see what he does and what's going on. There's a major movement with singers with him that he does a live broadcast every week. Sometime during the week, he does a live broadcast. He's going to be doing one Friday, and I think I'm going to share it in the group. There are so many singers that are not mainstream. They don't even have, some of them don't even have no things with anybody doing recording or anything. And he's given them the opportunity to come on his live broadcast and to sing. And when I tell you these people sing, bruh, they kill it. And the other night he was on there and someone asked him why he wasn't in a relationship. And that's the major reason why I wanted to bring him on the show, so he could tell his story. And I've been saying this about myself for the longest period of time. But he will be here, and he is bringing a young man with him by the name of Stephen Wilkins. He is a part of the POW movement, and I'm gonna let them tell y'all about it. Do not miss this show. If you miss any other show that we've done next week, next Tuesday, don't miss this show or you're going to be so mad that you did it. So with that being said, thank you to everybody that joined us tonight. Thank you to all that are listening that didn't call in. If you're listening right now, we appreciate it. I know there's a few that were hitting me up with questions and comments on how they felt about different things as far as step parents. So I appreciate you. Thank you so much. We'll see y'all next week, we'll see you in the group and on the light page. And then back here, same time, 9 Central Time, 10 Eastern on Tuesday, next Tuesday night. Tom, take us out of here, man.
All right, we'll go ahead and end tonight's show the only way we know how.
To the end of the we go.